My name is Wissam Chalabi. I'm a debater from Lund Debate Society. I was the convener of Lund IV Elite Hotel Ideon 2013. We faced some minor problems, so some people may argue are major problems, such as the storm that hit Germany and people couldn't get here in Germany and Denmark and Sweden. But luckily, we ended up getting 48 teams anyway. We had great judges. The accommodation was at a 4-star hotel, Elite Hotel Ideon in Lund. Everyone was happy with it. I think the tournament was a really great experience for most people who participated in it. So we're very happy with that. The Lund Debate Society is actually quite a new society and a small one. I would say only 3 or 4 years ago it was just 4 people. I was in high school at the time and I would just join them at one of the classrooms in the university after work hours. And we would just gather in one room and have debates just between us for a whole year or such. But then it started working as an official organization when Emilia became president and Lucinda was the coach. And then we started actually arranging debate cafes. We meet every week. We made the organization official. And so only over this course of years it became the organization it is today. So when I tell you 4 or 3 years ago, we were only 3 or 4 people that gather in a room to have a random debate. Last year, the Lund Open, which is the equivalent of Lund IV this year, last year we had 20 teams and we had to have 2 teams of them were swing teams and most of those teams were from Lund or Sweden. While this year we ended up with 48 teams despite the storm, with teams representing more than 10 countries. My personal debating experience started out in high school. The first time I was introduced into debating was just a teacher who was invited to some Swedish championship in debating, and they said, well, debating is something. You will go there and debate with other students. We had no idea what the format was or anything. And we went, we lost of course, but I learned that it was really interesting, so I came back and I looked into it, what's happening in Lund. And then I found the Lund Debate Society, which was very small but still active. And Lucinda David, who's our coach until today, who's also, by the way, the champion of the Lund IV this year, she gave me a call and she was telling me about them organizing a tournament and that I can come and train with them. And that was how I was introduced into it. And since I've been engaged in this activity and in the Lund Debate Society, I've been to a few tournaments as a debater, a few tournaments as a coach for the high school teams and the national Swedish high school team, as well as an adjudicator to a few as well. And this Lund IV Elite Hotel Ideon 2013 was my first convening experience, and it was a lot of fun. Some of the tournaments I've been to are Tilbury House in Cologne in Germany, Leiden Open in the Netherlands, Heart of Europe in Czech Republic. I've been to ESDC, Eurasian Debating Schools Championship in Turkey, and many more. I think debating is really important for a lot of reasons. It depends on what every individual wants of it. But I think generally what is mostly mentioned as the aim of debating, which I agree strongly with, is to encourage an informed society, which is crucial for being part of a democracy. I think it's very important for every citizen of a democracy to take on this responsibility of understanding the importance of discourse, understanding the importance of discussion, and not only mild discussion, but sometimes even aggressive discussion to really find out which ideas should stand in our society and which ideas are weak. I'll have a few favorite motions. The ones that I've come across usually end up in the area of space exploration. The one with "this house would send a man to Mars" is one of my all-time favorites, which we had here actually internally. Another one we had at Tilbury House in Cologne was "this house would allow parents to sell their babies." I think that one was a lot of fun because the first time you think this is a ridiculous fun motion just for the laughs, but when you prep it, it's actually perfectly reasonable. And the other one I would say is my favorite motion are the motions that are related to the Israel-Palestine conflict, because I feel they're always engaging and really great. And throughout the years that I've been active in debating, I've always been hoping for one to come up. And the first one that came was actually in Heart of Europe 2 years ago, where it came in the last round, and it was that on winning that motion that we actually broke. So I have a special relation to emotions about the Israel-Palestine conflict. I think the state of debating in the world is great because it's engaging and it's bringing in a lot of people that are participating. Unfortunately, I think there is a little lack of coordination between debate societies, so that would be the one thing I would like to improve if I had superpowers or a lot of people who are willing to work on a certain project. Then I think improving relations between different associations or debate clubs and coordinating between different societies, because we all want the same thing at the end, but we go at it different ways. And I think if there was more coordination between all societies, at least within certain regions, then we could produce a lot more for a lot less work and effort. Future generations, I invite them to start, especially the ones going to world schools, I invite them to start strong, not be shy, go on tournaments. You don't have to be the national team to go to a tournament. Just grab a couple of friends and somebody who can coach you and help you as a supervisor and go to tournaments. There are great tournaments for schools around Europe. For example, European and Bratislava Schools Debating Championship, Heart of Europe, and ESDC. Those are some of the ones I've gone to. And I think they are really great opportunities to improve your debating from the beginning. And once you have some experience from schools, you can start at your local club from the university that you go to. The one thing I would advise you, though, is keep debating a hobby and not your full-time activity, because some people can get into it too much and hurt their studies by that. I think it should be kept a hobby. Your studies come first if you're a young generation, but debating as your main hobby is really a great hobby to have, to improve yourself as a person, to improve your speaking skills, to broaden your range of knowledge, and to meet really great people across the world. Thank you everyone for watching this, and thank you especially to the debaters who came to the Lund IV Elite Hotel Ideon 2013 through the storm and through the difficulties that were there. Thank you for making the event what it was. It was a real success, and it's for this kind of thing that we keep debating and we keep organizing, and we hope to see you here next year.